What's up guys, welcome to the video, and today we will be talking about 5 things we learned from UFC Nashville, Sandhagen versus Rob Font. And honestly guys, I didn't really like this event. I thought this was one of the worst events I've seen in a while. If you don't want to hear what I thought about the event, skip through. I've timestamped the video and you can go to number 5 straight away, but I'm going to quickly talk about the event. I thought it was really bad. I thought a lot of people just looked like they didn't actually want to fight. They weren't really fighting because they like to fight. They were fighting for the paycheck. You could really see it. There was a lot of boring fights. There was one knockout in the entire card, and it was a TKO. It wasn't a flatline KO. It just wasn't very action packed whatsoever, and it was quite a big change from the event prior to it. Obviously, Poirier versus Gaethje. That was a very good event. It was much more enjoyable. So yeah. Big contrast, not a very good event. But today, we still learned a lot of things. So I'm going to be compiling the 5 most important things we learned from last night's event. And without further ado, let's get right into this. So yeah, starting off with number 5, Kennedy Nzechukwu has no chin. Okay, now I'm going to be honest. I did pick him to win that fight. I thought he'd win. I thought Dustin Jacoby was finished. And I seem to have maybe forgotten that I did say this in one of my previous videos picking Kennedy. I said, I'm picking him to win. I can't even remember who he was fighting. I said, I'm picking him to win, but I am aware that he did get knocked out by nothing once. And it is true, Kennedy did actually get KO'd by a glancing shot that actually didn't really hit him at all. So I don't really know how the science behind that works, but Kennedy actually has been knocked out by a gust of wind before. So maybe I should have considered that into my evaluation of prediction and breakdown of the fight. However, Dustin Jacoby basically landed a counter hook, and it immediately basically sent Kennedy to the shadow realm. He was completely out and he got finished, the ground strikes. And yeah, he has serious chin issues, It seems like a lot of light heavyweights do, in fact. Johnny Walker, you've got Kennedy now as well. But I'm really worried about his chin, and I don't think he beats any good strikers now. Just because this chin just cannot be trusted. You can't trust, and you can't just stand in the pocket and trade when your chin is that terrible. And looking back in some of his fights, he's shown a good chin. So what I'm putting it down to is Carlos Ulberg. I think that fight basically cracked his chin. He took a lot of damage in that fight. He was practically a punching bag for the entire first round, and he took a lot of big shots in the second too. But yeah, I think Carlos Ulberg definitely damaged Kennedy's chin, and it's showing now, and he cannot take a punch to save his life, quite literally. So yeah. But I mean, fair enough, Jacoby proved me wrong, but I still don't really think he's got a good future in front of him. I think he'll lose to any decent guy, because obviously they have to give him a step up in competition now. So we'll see what they make with that. But Kennedy has no chin. Yeah, right. Anyway, moving on. Number 4. So Diego Lopes is legit. Obviously, got an amazing submission win in Nashville. They said it was a flying triangle. Let's be honest, guys, it really wasn't a flying triangle. But what I will say about it is, when he kind of got a walk-off submission, which is really rare, they're kind of hard to do. As the guy tapped, he rolled over and got top mount and then just sat up. It was really cold, really good. This guy really showed. I mean, we all knew he was good on the ground against Boser Isn't. He looked very threatening. He nearly got a few subs. Musler was in a lot of pain, but he managed to grit for it. And against guys who were definitely less experienced on the ground, I knew this guy was going to be a problem, a huge problem. And I was completely right. Everyone was right. A lot of people thought this would happen. Round 1 submission. Amazing performance by Diego Lopes. I'm pretty sure he got performance of the night. This guy can beat a lot of people. Anyone that isn't very good on the ground. In fact, even people that are good on the ground, to nearly be submitting Boser Isn't, who I think is pretty solid on the ground. He's got a good base on the ground. He keeps himself safe, you know what I mean? He likes to keep himself safe. So for him to be in that much danger on the ground, it shows a lot. And considering this guy's 6 losses, he looks pretty hard to beat. Losing to Boser isn't really a bad thing in general. So this guy's got a lot of potential. He's got 22 wins. So yeah, he's got experience and he's very good on the ground, like I said. So this guy's legit. If I was his manager, I'd try and be getting him against strikers, people that are a bit clueless when it comes to the ground. This guy beats a lot of people, He beats a lot of people. He got a good win over Gavin Tucker. Yeah, so just great performance by Diego Lopes. I think he'll win his next fight by submission. There's a lot of people that he can beat on the ground, and I'm sure the UFC will give him one because they're going to want to promote this guy because, people that go out and get first round finishes in a card that boring, it really sets you apart, and it made his fight look interesting. And people walking away from that event after having watched that in Nashville, they would have think, geez, that was boring. But the two good things I can remember from the night is Diego Lopes's triangle submission and Dustin Jacoby's first round KO. But yeah, so well done, Diego Lopes. Legit, he's one to look out for in the future. And we move on to number 3. Number 3, Cory Sandhagen doesn't care about the fans. Okay, so guys, I know a lot of you are going to be saying, oh well, he wanted to get the win, and this is MMA, so a good skill set is required, and also it was fun to watch. Don't give me that, okay? I like to watch grappling. Yes, okay. I like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I like cool wrestling. But okay, no one will enjoy that because that was not fun, okay? He was half guard camping, okay? If that was another fighter who wasn't from America, you guys would be going crazy on Twitter, okay? So hold the same standards because I am. Boring main event. Cory Sandhagen should be absolutely ashamed of himself. Do not give him the title shot, okay? Do not give him the title shot. Give him Merab, okay? I think he deserves that. If he wants to wrestle, let's wrestle. We'll see how you do against Merab, buddy. You're not going to win that fight. I know that for sure. Honestly, that is absolutely outrageous from Cory Sandhagen. I know he wanted to get the win, but honestly, he beats Rob Font on the feet, okay? Rob Font has no chin. One good strike, Rob Font would have been on the ground floored. Unbelievable from Cory Sandhagen to do that. He just clearly doesn't care about the fans because if he did, and he literally apologized to them, and I know you're gonna say, oh, well, he shouldn't have done that. He had an injury, so he has to do that. He injured his arm in round 1, okay? So he probably did it in the takedown or in the wrestling. So there you go. Because as far as I'm aware, I didn't really see a point where he could have actually injured it standing because there was so little time he was actually standing up in the first round. But yeah, so really disappointed in Sandhagen. That was not badass at all. Really disappointing. I don't think he deserves a title shot for that. I know he is the clear-cut opponent for the vacant belt, probably if Aljo wins and moves up. So I guess he will probably be fighting next, probably with Merab as well. But just really disappointing, not fun at all. Not many fans like that. And the ones that are saying they did, don't believe them, okay? They're just trying to justify it. There's no way anyone enjoyed that. It wasn't even that fun. It was, like I said, it was just half-guard camping. Rob Font, he's not fun on the ground, but he's good enough that he isn't going to get finished. So it was just pretty much a stalemate. Cory Sandhagen was sitting on top. He couldn't even really land ground strikes. The strikes landed in every round. I'm pretty sure only one round was double digits, okay? So I know, yes, he held him down and he kind of dominated, but he didn't dominate in the fact that, oh my God, Rob Font was nearly out of there. He nearly got finished, so bit of a snooze fest. The crowd were booing, which I really do think they should have. I'm glad they did that. And yeah, that was just a terrible, terrible performance from Sandhagen. Really boring. Frustrating for Rob Font. However, he didn't get finished. Okay, so he didn't take any damage. He can make a very quick turnaround because I know he's quite old. So get him in there. I'm not even kidding. Get him in there in 2 months. Because obviously that was a short notice opponent. But let's give him a camp and get him back in there. And get him against Song Yadong. I still think that's the fight to make. Why not? Let's do that. And it seems like Sandhagen's probably got his title fight now. But again, having said that, he was training for Umar. However, that was not the way you go about it. I think Rob Font was a really, really nice matchup for him. I think he would have won that fight no matter what. He wouldn't have had to wrestle. So he could have struck. But having said that, Rob Font is a very, very good striker. So maybe he was a bit scared he was going to get caught. But I guess we'll never know. So Cory Sandhagen is a new wrestler on the block apparently. And he doesn't care about fans. Interesting. Anyway, we move on. Number 2. Number 4. Tanner Boser is actually pretty good and he can actually win a few fights at light heavyweight. So obviously, Tanner Boser made his second fight at light heavyweight and it went a lot better than the first one because he didn't get finished in the first round. In fact, he actually won a fight. So well done to Tanner Boser. He looked really good, to be honest. His cardio held up, which is really surprising because a lot of these heavyweights, they have terrible cardio because most heavyweight fights, either they don't leave the first round, or if they do, nothing happens for the next 2 rounds. But he did really well. He beat Alex Kamur. He landed really big shots. Kamur's got one hell of a chin. However, he didn't finish him, but looked really sharp. If that was a lot of other fighters, he would have finished them. Then again, however, I don't think he would have landed those shots on a lot of other fighters. And this guy needs to step up in competition. However, I do feel like he just won't win his next fight. I just feel like he might have looked really good because he was against Kamur. And I think a lot of people kind of overrated Kamur in that matchup. A lot of people were picking him. A lot of people were saying he's their lock of the week. And he turns out he's not as good as people thought, and his 6 wins were showing. He took a 2-year layoff to then return and fight like that, which is absolutely awful, because Tanner Boser's coming off getting first round finished. So for that, kind of gave you a good win to go out there and get. But Tanner, he showed that he's got the grit and he's got the experience, and he just had a good performance. So yeah, let's give him a better opponent. Let's give him someone who can strike well, or a grappler, I don't care. And but however, this guy, we can't really have him getting into the top 15, because if he does, that just makes heavyweights look really good, and we all know that is not true. Heavyweights are pretty talentless in general. Only the top 10 or top 5 are really the good ones. So yeah, Tanner Boser, there you go. Anyway, we move on to number 1, which is Tatiana Suarez is probably going to win the flyweight belt, okay? She went down to 115. This was her first fight at 115. Her previous fight was at 125. She just wanted to make sure she could actually make the weight and stuff. And obviously that was a return fight after a long hiatus due to injuries. I think it was like 4-year hiatus, something like that, 3 years. And then while she looked good, Jessica Andrade, it's no secret. We all knew Tatiana Suarez was going to win, injuries or not, because let's be honest, guys, Jessica Andrade has the wrestling of someone who's actually never wrestled in their life. And I mean that. She has 0 grappling IQ whatsoever. And even when she's in a good position, she still somehow finds a way to give it to the other person. She's just one of those people that are just terrible at wrestling. And she gets subbed a lot on the ground. It's her weakness, and she's not even looking particularly dangerous on the feet anymore. So I'm predicting a downward spiral for her. Meanwhile, Tatiana Suarez, she's going to do nothing but go up. I mean, she's probably going to have to win another fight, and she'll get the title shot. But I'm pretty sure she beats most people in that division. To be fair, though, Erin Blanchfield did it more dominantly, okay? Erin Blanchfield took her down and took the back. And Tatiana was on the bottom for a while. She got back up, and she got the guillotine. So yeah, well done from Tatiana Suarez. She looked really good in that performance. She did a really good job. And let's give her a good fighter, maybe someone that actually has jiu-jitsu training somehow. But great job from Tatiana Suarez. And those are the 5 things we learned. So obviously, not the most entertaining fight card, I'm going to be honest, guys. So, the 5 things, they weren't as exciting as maybe prior cards. But this is a series now, so I'm going to be doing this every single card. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new here. You don't want to miss any future content. And join my members for exclusive videos, bonus videos. And then thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.